And hello to all my Pisces friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for March 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Pisces. Well, it's going to be a specific corner spread, but we're going to set it up in the storyline format. And thank goodness for that, because we're going to be telling a bunch of different stories all about Pisces health. They want to focus on health. There's something going on that March presents a great opportunity for my Pisces to work on health issues here, or health concerns, or maybe just avoiding something bad down the road, or maybe just getting your health on course, getting it down the right path. So we're going to be telling different stories. 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 stories if Spirit is very chatty for different Pisces going through different health situations. And a health spread may not sound like the most fun thing in the world, but I've found that they intended to be some of the most interesting spreads that I've ever done. It always surprises me every single time because they can talk about physical health all the way to spiritual health and anywhere in between. So that's what we got lined up for today. They also said, hey, you know what? We're not doing no extra today. So there's a couple different reasons that can happen. One is that Pisces are relatively on a good trajectory here. And Spirit's just like, you know what? Just give them a few little health pieces here and there, and they're pretty much good. Just leave them alone. Give them a few pieces and get them out. Get them on their way. Or it's just that there's so many different health situations and stories that we need to discuss that they want no extra, so we devote all the time to that. So let's get started right now, guys. There's no reason to wait. Also going to conclude your reading with a rune stone, which will penetrate and kind of go through every single story, the little web that they weave, and bring the whole thing together for March. I'm very interested to see what we got for you because they wanted to devote this entire spread to health. So let's get started, Pisces, right now. Cards are shuffled, rune stones shuffled up, ready to go. I'm going to bring you in with the overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you so you can see what is going on and what I got working with and what the cards are. Look at the pictures and the whole bit. So here we go there. Get that thing on and we are good. So what I'm doing now, Pisces, these are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into 3 different pieces, putting them back together in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings. And we're going to, like I said, this is storyline spread, and I was talking so much about the health, I might not have even told you that we're going to find the story in here that is right for you. Sometimes you can find bits and pieces of great information for you from all of the stories, but at the end of the day, we're looking for the home run that is right for you, and we're going to find it right now. Here we go. Storylines start with 5 cards. I expand out from there where I need to go. So these are the most important cards that you see, and that's actually going to be my end. And I know that because this little birdie is looking left. That brackets me off just like so. So now I got to get the pairings together. The inverts are only 2, not enough to matter. So right now we got this one facing away. We got this one going here. All right, so we're looking at 3 stories. It's going to look just like that. It took me a second because we had a few very complicated situations with that. So I moved them around, but they're already paired up and kind of mated, so it's okay. So now I need to get a couple extra cards here. First, this is a person, a court card, so I need to see if that's the energy that we're using or a person. And they actually said the energy, so that story is complete. Over here, same thing with the queen. Also using the energy. We're not talking about people specifically here. And these are 2 pip cards. They're just going to share an extra card together just to give us a little bit more information on those. So these are the 3 stories that we're looking at. Try to keep it all in view here for you because I need to get an oracle angel card for every single story now. Just make sure I'm not missing anything along the way. Nope, we're good to go. Angel oracle card will wrap it up. So this story gets this one here. This one will be here. And our littler story at the end there. Right there. So that's the whole thing, guys. Now let me get it in camera for you so you can see it nice and closely. Little close-up view. We'll see what these 3 health stories for Pisces are all about. That's going to be story number 1. I'm going to change the order of this to go with the little one next. So this is going to be story 2 right here, guys. Let me zoom out so you can see that one. Story 2. And then story 3. We're going to end with this one. And that's going to be perfect because they're talking about bringing new things in right there, bringing new things in with my ace. So that's going to line up to those moon cycles perfectly for that new moon. So let's get started here, Pisces. And you know what? I gotta congratulate you guys because, man, if you guys do it again, you guys came hard last month. Very, very proud of my Pisces last month. You guys are my new favorite sign. And let me tell you why that is. Because the number of views from my videos last month. I forget who number 2 was. In fact, it wasn't even relevant, because you know what Pisces did? Pisces lapped them. We had double the views in Pisces from the next closest sign. You guys just destroyed it. If it was a competition, it would have been over before it started. You guys did great. And if that happens again this month, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to do something very special for Pisces. But anyway, let's get moving with your reading, guys, shall we? So, story number 1, and keep in mind this is all about health. They talk about here that there are, the attachment card first is a lot of different ways this can go. So, if you are at a big crossroads with health, or you feel like, hey, there's so many different things I could do here. I don't know if I want to do yoga. I don't know if I want to diet or exercise or, take vitamins. I don't know which direction I'm trying to go here. I don't know if I want to join a gym or work out from home. If this sounds like you could very well be with me here. In story number 1, that's what they show first. They show a big kind of usually this is like a cross in the road or a fork in the road. But in this deck that they wanted me to use for my great Pisces here, they're telling me, no, this is more like kind of like 6 different forks in the road. This is kind of jagged all over the place. And you're just kind of sitting there looking at it. So you're not necessarily doing anything about it. Maybe you're thinking about it, contemplating what you can do. And they also bring in that some of you can actually do this at work. We have 2 wands that come up in this story, and wands is a work corner deal. So this could be getting more healthy at work. Something to consider, especially if you're at this point where you're considering all these different choices and all these different options. Hey, you know what? Maybe some Spirit's like, maybe start with work. Maybe just get up and walk around a little bit. Maybe eat better at work. Bring your food more than getting fast food or something along those lines, right? So the next thing they show here is I have my Queen of Wands. She's on an invert. They did say the energy. So this is saying, that's why we are focusing on work with story 1 with health, because it's not good. There's so much room for improvement here. It's insane. Okay, this is great amounts of improvement that can be had. Spirit is kind of coming over top of that and saying, hey, victory. My victory card comes in. So your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So they're saying here, this is the route. This is your path. If you're wondering which way your path goes, at least first, the first little turn, if you will, the spiritual GPS is trying to get you on track. And that's what they're doing. And if you get off track too much, you know what happens? The spiritual GPS just reroutes you and you start again. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. But that's what they're saying here is that really need to nurture your health at work. And this can also expand out to people who are in bad work environments. Maybe bad situations that are bad for your health. Maybe mental health. Maybe emotional health. All things to consider in a health spread. So if that's the case, you know what you got to do. Now they also show being bored with something here. A lot of my Pisces are bored or need to get interested in something here. Get excited about your health. If you're not, you probably aren't going to do nothing about it to change it, right? So Pisces got to be very well invested into it. And of course, being a water sign, that makes sense. You lead with your heart. Your heart's got to be in it. You got to be in what you do fully. Otherwise, it'll just fall by the wayside. You'll do the gym for a couple weeks and then forget about it, and then forget to cancel it. And then you got to, 3 months later, you're getting this bill, and you know what? Hey, now I got to cancel that. The whole thing. So you got to be into what you do. Long story short, gave you a silly example, but you understand the energy. So let's move into story 2, Pisces. Story 2, my shorter story. Keep in mind we still got one more story left here too, if we haven't hit you yet with that first one, and now number 2. The first thing that comes in here is an inaction with work. Okay, so they're saying don't do something with work. So some of you, we got to separate this here because it's a different story here. Even though there may be parts that you can get something out of, this is a separate story. So if that first one was about your work in regards to your health, this one will not be, more than likely. These are going to be very opposed stories because they show here inaction with work. So they don't want you to change something with work. Maybe some of you have been thinking about doing that because, hey, you know what? I don't like what I do anymore, or I want to go do something else. Spirit here is telling you, hey, it's not a good idea right now. Right now, this is not it for whatever reason. It's going to affect your health either physically or spiritually, emotionally, mentally, okay? Every little bit of it matters, and I feel like it's actually physical. It makes me feel like, especially if a lot of you do physical work, or you would be doing physical work if you changed what you do here. They say basically that you need to try to balance this a little bit more because this is a delicate situation. They show your health is a delicate situation here too. So maybe some of you have injuries before, you just have a bad back, for example, or, being on your feet all day. If you're a waitress is like, terrible for you. You have aches and pains or whatever. Even, headaches, I'm hearing for some people, migraines, stuff like that. So this is a delicate surgery here, what you're trying to do, and it doesn't mean that you can't get things done, but it just means do it gently, do it carefully, be gentle to yourself too. So especially don't work too hard at health, or work too hard at work that affects your health. I don't know why that was a tongue twister, but my brain just nestled that thing all up into a bird's nest. So that's what they show, is that this is a very delicate procedure, and they want you to consider kids. Okay, so some of you, maybe that's a direction. Instead of doing blank, maybe you should be teaching, working with kids, working at a daycare, volunteering, doing some kind of thing at a summer camp. We got summer coming up around the corner, or doing something with your own kids. Okay, maybe this is just a health thing that you can do with them. You go jogging, they go rollerblading or riding their bike. Okay, so maybe this is something that everybody can do together, and we can just kind of have fun as a group. In the card itself, it says, it's indigo and crystal children. It says you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. I pay more attention just to the fact that they're bringing up children. That's usually what this means to me. So they want you to pay attention to either your kids with this, something for health that you and your kids can do, or they're and their kids, or generation gaps, or what. Maybe for some of you, you are the kid and you're doing something here with your parent, something like that. So very good story there. And 2, they said no action with work though, so just keep that in mind. Lots of moving parts there for just a couple of cards. A very interesting story there. Now before we get into 3 was what's bringing in brand new. So this is why I want to cut away to do your moon cycles, because the moon cycles, we're going to be talking about that new moon in there, which is huge for bringing new things in and manifesting. So I'm going to cut away to do that, come back with your story number 3. Also tell you about the brand new gemstone in the shop and the brand new service. I'll be right back. And here we go. It is moon cycle forecast time. When I tell you about the moon cycles, what's coming in and out, the first one we got coming here is the full moon. That happens on March 7th. Now this influence is going to happen right here, right now. Most of you are checking out my video early in March, so this is the best time to start using that full moon energy to your benefit. And this is the best time to get anything out of your life that you don't want there, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a person. For some of you, it's people. You got to get rid of some bad baggage people. For others of you, it's baggage emotionally, also mental baggage, all that stuff, even if it's personal, physical stuff, like in a closet, cleaning out a closet, a garage, finishing an old project. If it's got to go out of your life, maybe cutting out sugar, cutting certain things out of your life, it doesn't matter what it is. Full moon energy is ideal for that. That peaks at the 7th, that's when our full moon is, but it doesn't have to be on the 7th. Anytime toward early March is great for that. Now, adversely, we have the new moon that rolls in March 21st, but those influences can start being felt as soon as about St. Patrick's Day, around the 17th. So when St. Patrick's Day hits, that's when you can start really trying to bring things into your life. Attract it. And that peaks on the 21st. You don't have to do it on the 21st. Anytime really around the week is the best time for that. But don't wait too far into March, or you'll start getting back into the full moon energy. But talking about that new moon energy, that is the best time to attract, to manifest, and to bring new things into your life that were not there before. Trying to attract something new with work, something new with love perhaps, maybe start something new with health, or even do something new financially that you hadn't done before. These are all best things placed under the new moon, guys. So 21st is your ping date there. If any of this has confused you, or you just like a little graphic aid, make it make sense for you a little bit more, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is on my website and it is free. It is parked on the Talking About page, the page of stuff that I'm talking about. It is there every single month. I update that for you guys all the time. Also, brand new things while you're at the website. Make sure you check out the brand new gemstone. It is beautiful thing called Snowflake Obsidian. And of course, any black gemstones, those are your protective gemstones. Snowflake Obsidian specifically is a volcanic protector. So it is like a glass stone forged in the volcanoes. Very, very black with little white indentions on it, little white incursions, and those are called, that's why it's called snowflakes, Snowflake Obsidian. So it's the black with the little Dalmatian spots on there. Very pretty stone, and it is one of the earliest stones that was used for scrying. That's what Nostradamus did, seeing through water. So it has very ancient connections, connectivity connections, and it's good about bringing truths to the surface, as well as protecting and transmuting all those negative energies. We don't want any of those. So make sure you check out Snowflake Obsidian. I'm flashing pictures on the screen as I talk about it here, and have the full write-up for you on it too, so you can see all about it that I've done myself from lots of research on Snowflake Obsidian. So check that out. Also on the website, we have a brand new service as well, and this is the cheapest of the cheapest services. This is something that anybody can get at any time, and it is guaranteed the same day that you order it. It does not have to be booked wherever you book on the calendar. It doesn't matter. This thing turns around quick. It is a runestone reading. So it is an actual runestone that gets pulled for your energy, which you're going to see later in your reading for the sign. But let's say you want a runestone for your month, what you got going on specifically for you, or hey, maybe you're just having a rough go of it. You need a little inspiration here from Spirit. Runestone will do that for you. And I'll record that for you. And that is an audio reading, so you don't even have to be there for it. It pulls using your birth date, so that is worth checking out on the website as well. Very, very super affordable because it's so quick, but has a profound, lasting impression for you. So check all that stuff out, guys. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. That's at the bottom of every single page. Make sure you follow on Facebook as well, because I do giveaways on there as well. So that's it, guys. Back to your reading. Let's go. Okay, Pisces, it is story number 3 time. Story 3 starts with our connection of really kind of shows you looking up in the sky like you're not really sure what you need to do with this. Now that is similar to story 1, at least how we start. But this is kind of more out of an emotional card. That was more kind of work balance. Over here in story 3, this is like emotionally, you just don't know what side is up here. And perhaps that could be emotional health as well. You know, maybe you've suffered through some heartbreak and you're having a real hard time. It's affecting your health, giving you stress, anxiety, depression, something like that, guys. They really show you kind of like looking up at the stars, like looking for direction, looking at, the heavens and so forth. They bring in next here that there is, we have a lot of wands that come up. Anytime we have wands, like we just talked about in story 1, it was work related. And it's just kind of been permeating through your entire spread. We just can't get away from work for some reason here. So there's something, different levels of work for different Pisces that is affecting your health. And hopefully we can get whatever this is turned in a positive direction. And some of you may already be in a positive direction. And if that's the case and you're having a great work/health symbiotic relationship between the two, you're in great shape. This reading is probably not for you. This is for the ones that need it, right? That's what Spirit does when they do it. And this is dictated by them. This is their show. I'm just the translator. So that's what they show, is that you're kind of looking up, trying to figure out what to do. They bring in teaching and learning. So this is something that they want you to learn about. Or if you have a bunch of knowledge on health yourself, let's say you're a dietitian or you studied something like that in school and college, you took a class on, herbal remedies or something like that. This is something that Spirit is calling on you to teach other people. Share that information. That's what wisdom is. It's applied knowledge, okay? If you just keep it to yourself, it just kind of ends with you. Why do that? Share it with humankind, okay? There's people that can benefit from the knowledge that you know. And you can also be on the other end of that where you're seeking out the knowledge, okay? So learning something new about health, like those examples I gave you, or anywhere along the lines. I mean, you could just be learning yoga poses. You could just be learning, the best way to detox and cleanse your body. Whatever it is that you're interested in learning here, that's what they bring up. But it affects your health. So that is kind of the underlying base to story 3. And they show that you can be very successful at this. They bring it in as a small success. So it's not like, oh, this is going to be a revolutionary, life-breaking, life-changing deal. It's just saying, no, this is just a complementary piece. This is something that you do in addition to your wonderful life, and it just makes it that much more better, right? So that's what they show. They show eye on the prize with goals, and this is bringing new things in. This is the Ace of Wands, so that can get into the work corner. Like I said, we can't avoid it. The spread, it's just all over the place, but I focus more on that with goals, okay? Eye on the prize of what you're trying to accomplish. And, keep in mind that sometimes goals take time. And that is why I always suggest and I always kind of push that people set smaller goals for yourself. Just like going up a ladder. If you set the bars too high apart from where your feet and your hands are, you're reaching too far and it's uncomfortable, and sometimes you just miss and you fall. And that doesn't really help momentum at all. What helps momentum is keep moving up the ladder. So set these little bar rungs that you can easily achieve. Then you accomplish that goal. You have momentum. You can accomplish the next goal. Next thing you know, you've accomplished 10 small goals and you're at the top of the ladder already. And boom, you've big accomplishment all of a sudden. So that's what they talk about here, especially in regards to health, is setting new goals, achieving them, really kind of keeping your attention and your awareness on what it is you're trying to do. So very good. That is a wonderful story to conclude with. We have 3 very different opposing stories. Lots of moving parts, and somehow in there's a big work undertone for a lot of you. So putting the context together of what Spirit is trying to tell you here is going to be huge for my Pisces. Let's grab a runestone. And that's going to conclude what has been a very interesting reading for my great Pisces. It's going to be this one right here. There we go. This is the runestone of protection. Protection. So they're saying you're protected. You don't have to worry and have these fears about whatever it is. Mental fears, emotional fears. Hey, am I going to stick with this if I do this? What happens if, I stick with this job too long, and am I going to be unhappy? Hey, you're protected. So even if you're not in the greatest of situations, Spirit here is telling you protection. It's okay. They got you. They got your back. They're going to help you get motivated. They're going to help you do things behind the scenes that we have no idea to understand, but they do. They got the levers behind the curtain, so to speak. Not just them, but Spirit as a whole. It's kind of a blanket term for a lot of different things. But the ascended masters, the angels, the guardian angels, the spirit guides, even your deceased loved ones. Everybody has their place, and everybody helps from behind the veil in ways that we don't understand here. But I've seen it time and time again, and they let us know time to time when they give us stuff like this. Protection. So you are protected. Have a little faith. Have a little comfort in knowing that you are not alone, that whatever it is that you're trying to get through with your health goals, you can fully do that. And hey, what better time in March? That's what Spirit's saying. Hey, March health. This is the focus for Pisces. This is the direction. So that concludes what has been a very interesting health spread, I should say. And I told you, they always are very fun and interesting, as it turns out. So please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. That is it for me, and have a great and healthy March.